and welcome to another edition of Did You Know Doctor Who? What you may not know about Doctor Who. For the next 3 stories, we got a bit of a special event. We have the Dalek Civil War Trilogy. And to start off, the Dalek Civil War Trilogy is the first in this trilogy, Resurrection of the Daleks. I hope you enjoy. This story is famous for having one of, if not, the highest on-screen death toll in classic Doctor Who. In fact, its death toll is higher than the first Terminator film, with a body count of 76. Working titles for the serial were Warhead, The Return, and The Resurrection. This story would have been 4 parts, however the 1984 Winter Olympics broadcast interfered and the story was changed to 2 45-minute long parts. Davros was given a makeover as the original mask was deteriorating and was extremely stiff to work in, so the new mask was a lot more flexible to work with. An article by Russell T Davies in the Doctor Who Annual 2006 suggested that the Dalek Supreme's attempt to assassinate the High Council was one of the initial clashes in the Time War. During the mind analysis sequence, Leela and Chameleon are the only companions omitted. Eric Saward was unhappy with the script and felt there were too many plots. John Nathan Turner hated the Dalek-like helmets of Lytton's troops, but did not have time to change them. Terry Molloy replaced Michael Wisher as Davros, as Wisher was too busy in theatre work. Tegan is the longest lasting of the original 5th Doctor companions, with this being her final appearance. The visual effect used for the space station's self-destruction was later reused during the 5th Doctor's regeneration in the caves of Androzani. This is the first time since Planet of the Daleks where there is a Supreme Dalek. This is the last Dalek story in the classic era to feature the TARDIS's interior. Davros was meant to have been permanently killed off in this story, but Terry Nation objected this idea. Tegan's departure was hard to film as both Peter Davison and Janet Fielding were visibly upset. To get herself ready for her departure, Janet Fielding went around kicking the scenery to get herself in a bad mood. It was Rodney Bew's idea to give Stein a stutter. Peter Grimrod was originally meant to have directed the story, but was unable to, as during a dinner with production, he did not invite John Nathan Turner, having wanted to take him to dinner separately. However, Turner was upset by this and refused to allow Grimrod to direct. Eric Saward watched every Dalek story in preparation for this one. He hated the Daleks and only found Genesis Daleks to be the only one he liked. This is the first time Davros has explicitly claimed to have no knowledge of the Time Lords. The success of longer stories in the 2 parts gave inspiration to the 6th Doctor's era having 45-minute stories in 2 parts. Originally the Dalek Emperor was to appear, but Terry Nation refused to have it appear in favour of the Supreme Dalek. Originally the Supreme Dalek was going to be red, however it was changed to black. Interestingly, in the novelisation of this story, there is a red Dalek, but it is a second in command rather than the Supreme Dalek. And that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed. For our first of the Dalek Civil War Trilogy, I must say I love Resurrection of the Daleks. It is a genuinely brutal and dark story, but it's also just a lot of fun. Davros is great, the 5th Doctor is great, Tegan's departure is rather emotional and rather understandable considering what she's had to go through. The Daleks are a menace, and I love the scenes when you have the mutant Dalek actually attacking outside of its protective shell. This is a great story. It's just a shame that Eric Saward didn't like this story. I don't know why he never liked this story or why he felt that this was a disappointment of a story, because I think it's a really well-made story. I think all the plots managed to solve themselves in the end, and I think a lot of the characters are genuinely great and enjoyable. There are a lot of memorable moments in it. The scene when the Doctor holds a gun up to Davros is fantastic. It's a genuinely good moment, it's a genuinely good story, and I really like it. And it's a good start to our Dalek Civil War trilogy. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Did You Know Doctor Who, and I'll see you next time.